Ladies and gentlemen, howdy ho. PPG-GUARD update. So, that we're clear, I've actually gotten it to work. Sorta. It'll shoot around. It'll actually eject it from the barrel. Mind you, that's with some finagling. First, you gotta have a seal. Because for some fun reason, it won't work without a seal. On the front. And I'm thinking on the back, but I'm not gonna try and fight that too much. Because what I can tell is the magazine design that I come up with was not exactly kosher. It needs to be characteristically on point, and there's a couple of parts that I have to take out of another portion of the gun, which I'm not happy about, and I'll fill you in on that in a second. However, I wanted to show y'all that because of the fact that I'm going to be taking those portions out, it doesn't matter about the pawl on the back end of the thing, because it doesn't work anyways. So instead we have ourselves a finger flip gun. Okay? Basically a single action. So, depending on the power of your gun and how well it's constructed, because let's be freaking clear, the reason why I didn't move forward with the pawl mechanism being part of is because with this design, the pawl doesn't engage and it doesn't turn the little rotary clip thing, and we have a problem with materials. Whoever the material scientist is over there at Walther Umarex, I want him fired. Poor bastard couldn't freaking make a proper metal if all the components fell on his lap. Now, I'll be right back. So what I at first thought was, you know, sintered steel. Turns out, there ain't a fucking ounce of steel in that. There ain't even tin in that. It's probably pewter and lead. This is the component which makes the semi-automatic mechanism work. That's problem number one. This is sintered metal. Let me show you what I mean. Yeah, see here? Don't focus on my face. Focus here, you fuck. You see this? Come on, stop focusing on my face, you pain in the ass. Focus on the hand. I don't want you to focus on my face, focus on the hand. Stop checking out my face. I don't give a shit if you see an eyeball or a hair follicle. Fuck you. Okay, you see that? If it would focus, you fuck. Autofocus obviously does not fucking work. Okay. Maybe you can see this up next to my nostril. No, your eyesight's not that good. Okay, like I said. It's sintered steel. The way I can tell is the granular structure inside of the metal here. And for the fact of the matter, let's see if I can get that really fucking close so it'll stop focusing on my face. It's not working. wants to focus on my palm now. You can barely see it from this fucking perspective and angle, but yeah. The metal inside of this is so bad. The granular structure inside of this is so freaking big. I can see it with the naked eye. Now, for those of you that do know material sciences, that means that this is probably pewter, or bismuth, or tin. And there's probably no tin in it because non-magnetic. Anybody who knows anything about tin knows that tin is magnetic. What's worse, that's how they make the barrel guide. It's also how they make the rest of the fucking gun. If you look inside of there, you'll find out, something ain't quite right about that. What happened? Ooh, big old fucking crack down the middle of the frame. Material science, absolute crap with these people. Somebody needs to be fucking straight up knocked the fuck out. Imagine for a second, you know, you buy something, you want it to last at least as long as your money's worth, right? Well, sorry to say it there, Umarex, but my barrels outlasted the gun. My barrel outlasted the gun. The other barrel, funny enough, let me show you this. So you know how 17 caliber barrels are really hard to center in a BB gun? You can look down that barrel, you can see that little tiny nick in the side of it. Yeah, that's from shooting a BB. Through a BB gun. Shooting a BB through a BB gun made the barrel not work anymore. Y'all make it really hard for me to try and make it so that your products are worth a fuck. And this is coming from somebody who is genuinely trying. I really am trying. Guys, this thing broke putting it back together. Not in the functionality of it, putting it together. This little piece snapped while putting it together. Because of course I had to take the bottom end of the polymer off in order to get down into the frame, in order to do the proper cuts and do the different finagle this and that. If I had known the actual composition of the metal, let's just say that I probably would have chosen a different manufacturer. That's a piss poor excuse for fucking metallurgy right there. This stuff isn't even metal. I wouldn't even call that aluminum. Not aluminum. Really not aluminum. Nasty is what it is. Just wrong in so many different ways. So, yeah. Little actuation lever sits at the back of the gun here. Okay. Comes up and engages the safety mechanism. Pushing the safety mechanism back into place every time the gun is fired. This gives you your semi-automatic measure, as well as allowing for the safety itself to actually be functional. Literally. Not even touch. I just barely touch. Matter of fact, that's it. Did not push forward like you have to in order to engage the normal one, okay? Safety's off. Now, I'm really going to blow y'all's mind here. Because, check this shit out. It's still functional. But would you rely on that? If you make your guns the same way you make your air guns, man, I'm not surprised your business has gone to shit. Imagine for a second, it happens to be that the quality of the equipment that someone is buying doesn't need to just reflect the price. It needs to reflect the brand name. Walther Umarex, you guys are known, world-renowned, for making actually fairly good air guns. Precise, fully functional, good working air guns. So, this is unacceptable. This is unfucking acceptable. Straight off the bat, this is unacceptable. You know, normally you might be able to get away with a little tiny chintzy piece like this. You know, there regards, like, for instance, the frame, because half of it is a polymer frame, okay? It's a half polymer, half pewter frame, which is kind of dumb, in my opinion, but there you go. Pewter. Not only do I shake my head in despair, but I question your morals. This shit's toxic as all hell. Actual pewter is toxic. Had I known it was pewter when I was working on it, I certainly would have been wearing a proper dust mask. I was not. We'll talk about heavy metal toxicity. Oh boy. Someone get these motherfuckers a goddamn upgrade. See, all of my components, as you can see, are made from stainless steel. 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 Funny enough, it's steel. I mean, yeah, it's 320, so it doesn't exactly have the greatest magnetic properties, but 320 steel. Stainless. Pewter. Blow my mind and blow my nose, I tell you. Pewter. That's the reason why this thing was a pain in the ass to get back together, because the polymer shrunk and the pewter was not rigid enough to move the polymer back into place. That's literally how this broke. Okay, I'm pushing it together gently, so, like, now, hell, I actually, it got to a point where I was looking at what the different problems were. After it had broken, because yeah, I was kind of pissed after it got broken. I was like, why is it, what the fuck is going wrong? Well, I took a freaking shot mallet to it, and it came back together. That's literally how I had to get this thing together, was take a shot mallet. Those of you who don't know what a shot mallet is, it's like a big rubber mallet, but the head is full of shot, BB shot, like little tiny, little bitty ball bearings of steel. And that gives it an impact with, like getting hit by a sandbag instead of getting hit by a hammer. Now, hammering it back in. Not only did it go in appropriately and all the way in and seated and everything, but this pin right here, which was the complete confuckery of all, because it's too big for the fucking thing to hold until you get it there, and if you don't have knockout pins or retention pins in order to make it so that things stay together, well, they fall apart and break. Not how that broke, by the way. I had a retention pin in there and it wouldn't move, it wouldn't fit, so I took the retention pin out. And then this turned sideways and broke as I'm pushing it together. And that's pushing on it, not hammering on it. Mind you, I did hammer on it after the fact, of course. Hell, I'd have even freaking put that on fucking YouTube, except I didn't think to put my cell phone camera on while I'm sitting there working on a freaking, basically a prototype. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. For certain. Ashamed. I mean, this is good quality. This is fucking phenomenal quality. Alright? This actually works. This works. You know how I know that? Because I took and I squeezed in some lube into here, and I sat there with this thing until I found the chamber that was clean enough that it would cycle. Then I put around in it. All gooped up. Put it into the gun. As it's fucking broken as hell. And it still shot the round. This is what I mean by damn good quality, piss fucking poor. The differences are fucking phenomenal. This looks like absolute trash. I wouldn't pick it up off the ground if I was walking down the street. But this I'd pick up because it looks good. See? Watch. It looks good. But now I'm just questioning, were y'all trying to make me look bad, or is this what you do with all of your weapons? And I mean all of them, because seriously, bro, if you put this on fucking PCP air guns, you should be shot with that PCP air gun and see if it actually does anything. Fucking absolute trash. I turned trash, your trash, by the way, into something that's actually serviceable. Works. Huh, go figure. Imagine that. An air gun. Something that's supposed to be reliable as sin. With a .25 caliber, I at least made it work. This is pitiful, though. I'm talking about your materials. Extremely hard, extremely brittle. Absolutely no elasticity. It's plastic from fucking hell. Okay, this is pewter. It's plastic from hell. No magnetics whatsoever. I mean, there's not even trace magnetic in this. Look. I'm literally... We all know that any kind of magnetics will pick this up, right? Nothing. Nothing. There is no iron. No iron whatsoever in any part of your guns except for the springs. And maybe the valve pin. Maybe. The screws and the freaking guide pins and the rods and whatnot don't count. And that thing does not count. That's not part of a working air gun. You see down in there, past the barrel, the slide, the freaking, that thing, that's important. Alright, so my light is failing, so I don't want to get too dang chunnery with this, but this is the second take of the second half. It just so happens that about an hour ago, my mom called right in the middle of making the other half of this video. So I just wanted to point out, you know, Walther, I love your designs. I love the looks, the feel, everything. The fact that it can actually alter. You'll notice it all goes together and it runs. There's a problem though. Like I said before, bad metallurgy. Y'all need to fire that guy. Really bad metallurgy. I don't care if it's the same weight. It's going to get heavier with that barrel in there. I care about structural rigidity and the ability to actually perform. So when you convert it, we have to think about, can you actually turn it into that 4-shot, you know, like I did, but at the same time have it run and perform with that Walther reliability for that Walther price. As you guys are great at doing that, and that's what I want to see. Okay? I want to see that. I don't want to see this no mores. This metal, the metal that the barrel weight is made of, that's in throughout the entire freaking machine. It makes the frame up of the machine. You guys gotta use start using some steel. I don't care if it's freaking steel springs. You know, basically leaf springs that you run up the sides and shunt with, so that it just keeps it solid. Do something, because that's pretty sad. You gotta have somewheres for that shock to go. There's gonna be shock, even with a 17 caliber. Especially if a BB shaves in the middle of your barrel and it decides that it wants to try and take the barrel with it. It's not going to get very far, mind you, of course. But when it takes this thing forward and yanks it forward far enough that you can actually see there's a split in the gun there, and you're questioning how that could be, you know. Not good. Anyways, wildlife's starting to come out. It's damn near dusk. It is dusk. Anyways, in the configuration that it's in now, I can basically do the whole finger trap trick. Yeah, I know. Next thing's up, you guys are going to be calling this the Italian finger trap. I'm pretty sure. Or the Indian finger trap, one of the others. But yeah, that's going to be how I have to freaking run this thing. You know, by hand. I'm good with running the gun by hand. I used to run a 22 caliber long rifle bolt action by hand because the extractor had been broken. Anybody who knows about broken extractors knows how that shit runs. Just about as fun as freaking belly flopping onto sand, I tell you what. Like a princess at a mud wrestling contest. Boy, I tell you. Any Hoosiers, I got to get this thing done and uploaded, so y'all get a good ones. I'm glad I could talk to y'all. Yo, Guardsman, I was out. It's probably one of my last uploads to YouTube. I don't know yet. Good luck and love y'all. Bye.